So today's Life Diaries has to do with people that have lost their jobs. So whether you've been laid off or whether you're in a phase where you're trying to find your next career or job. And what I want to say here is my number one tip. If you're going through a phase like that, I understand that when you lose a job, it's a very awful thing that happens to you. And it does come with a lot of uncertainties. But I want to bring to your awareness that it also comes with the possibility of going in a new direction. So, my first tip, number one, if somebody is feeling anxiety about that, my number one tip is that you firstly need to focus on the mental health before you attempt to go find a new job. And I'll explain to you why. Because right now you might be feeling negative. But as I always talk about duality and the law of polarity, whenever we have a negative experience, it's great to look at the direct opposite, which is, even though I'm having these negative things in my life, I need to see the blessings that's inside of these things. So, losing a job can make you understand that that phase might have needed to end. So you might reflect at this point, what actually were the things that you found meaningful about that job? So what could be the type of things you would like to build into a job that might be coming next? So I talked about the mental health and to look at that first. And the reason why I say it is because your outlook in life will have to play a significant role at this particular point in your life. What you need to understand is that what happened is beyond your control. You understand that in life, nothing is permanent. So a job is not permanent. When one gets fired perhaps for a job, it is in fact an excellent opportunity to move on to your next stage in life. And I understand that leaving a job and setting out to go into the unknown isn't something a lot of people are willing to do. And what you may not see at the current moment now is that it's probably the best thing that happened to you. So did you ever think that it might be a blessing in disguise? Did you ever think that maybe it's your chance to move on? Because there might be instances that your employment may have been generating the income that you needed, but it might no longer give you the drive or the challenge. That might be a thing, and that can actually teach you that it's time to move on. In the ample time that you have now, it is such a great opportunity for you to consider to venture into things that maybe perhaps before you didn't have the courage to go into your own. Because in life, always with endings comes new beginnings. And growth is very vital in life. We're here to have a learning experience. Success is a good thing, but failure also helps you grow. And I'm not saying that you failed, but when things don't go the way we want them to go, right? We can take that as an opportunity to how to learn to become a better person with better opportunities out there. So a lot of people out there leave and say they feel like they failed at something, which I don't believe in that word because there's no such thing as failure for me, and it's just lessons. But a lot of people perhaps that go through life experiences, they start to feel fear, and that fear cripples them, and it doesn't allow them to grow into a better version of themselves. So it's important to look at your perspective, because having perspectives is crucial in life. There's always two sides to the coin. So what you're experiencing now is terrible. It's devastating. You might not be feeling all right where you stand, in your jobs and everything, but you have to look at a different perspective. You need to be able to sit down and reevaluate your goals and what your priorities are. And it's teaching you that you should not be limiting your imagination. So what is it that you want, really? Because it's giving you a chance now to think about things. Perhaps look at your previous goals. What were your previous priorities? What didn't you achieve? What were you good at? What did you fail at? What environment were you in? What did you like about that? What didn't you like about that? What would you like to do for yourself? Right now, it might appear to you as if, you're starting all over, but in reality, it's actually what you need to progress to the next stages in your life. And one tip I want to tell you that you can learn from this experience is that a lot of people sometimes, we take things for granted. So we take for granted that we're always going to have this job. And I'm not saying, but it's always good to never put your eggs in one basket. And the reason as to why most people are stuck in jobs that they don't have any satisfaction from, or they might even get depressed when they get fired, is because they actually have no alternative income sources. So if you take the time to understand this and be open to diversify yourself, and in your future be able to grow your income pool. Because what is happening now is a phase that is trying to teach you to survive. It's kind of like learning to survive. And by learning to survive means that you need to learn to believe in yourself. You have to learn to believe in yourself and ultimately survive in this very competitive world. So in order to survive, you need to realize what works for you. And importantly, what previously worked out may not be what will work out right now. So it takes this time to focus on yourself and see that this is beyond your control and what you would like to be doing. And confront. This is just a learning experience.